Welcome back to another episode of Demons and Gentlemen. As always, your hosts, Greg and Tatted Alpha. And I'm just fucking with you. If you're paying attention, Tatted Alpha over here on your right.
Gregory.
Just Greg.
Just Greg.
And then Venus.
See, we got
Venus is
Veena
back.
Girl. We
Back
got,
again.
How many adjectives do we have for Venus?
Quite a few. More than...
Adjectives, nicknames, you name it.
Yeah, a lot of synonyms. She's got a lot. She's a dog of many names. A bad dog.
She's a bad dog.
And now she's a good girl.
She's a good girl. Look at that good girl.
This week's episode, before we get into it, we want to tell you guys to like, subscribe, follow, comment. Drop some comments.
That's right.
We want the engagement. We want to hear from you guys. We want to know if you like what you're hearing and seeing, or you don't like it. We don't give a shit. We want to hear it. Let us know. Be interactive. We like we like to talk some shit back to you. So talk shit to us. Don't talk shit to us. Whatever. We're here for it.
Yeah. Here for everything. But no, only way to make it better is with feedback, right? So, like he said, comment, like, subscribe. And just looking forward to hearing from you guys. And for those who are listening, thank you. Appreciate that. And we are getting better with each episode. So happy to be here.
This one we haven't quite figured out what we're going to title it just yet. So most of the time we already have the title figured out, and that's kind of what we lead with. So the gist of this one, I would say, is about reminiscing.
Reminiscing. We're taking it back.
Yeah, we're going to give you a little bit more insight as to who we are and how we are and how we came to be.
Yeah, gonna let you guys get to know your hosts a little bit of the show and just kind of take it back and get after it a little bit.
By the way, I'm representing Dracula.
Dracula. That's you now. That's not you of then.
That is not me then.
I'm surprised you didn't bust out your Yee hat for old time's sake.
I don't have it anymore.
Do you not?
Oh, no.
I saw a picture pop up on my iPad recently the other day, and it was you and me posing at the beach for a photo, and your hat had the shotgun on it, and it said Yee Yee. And I was cracking up. So for the people who are listening, I need everybody to know something about my mans that's sitting next to me real quick. Dude's a flipping chameleon. He has fit like 10 different genres of human. Like, I do not understand it. So I always knew that he liked metal music, right? He really is into it now, and he's listening to it, and I think he's always been into it. And he used to listen to it a little bit in the past too, but only when he was pissed off, or at least that was the vibe.
That's when I let everybody else hear it.
That's right. At least that was, the vibe like I got. But the dude went through a country phase dressed in American Fighter and like rock revival pants or God knows whatever the hell he
salvage.
had on.
I didn't
Salvage,
wear rock
that's
revival.
it. Sorry. Salvage pants and like all this other shit. He had his Yee hat like I just mentioned. He had a preppy boy phase where, he dressed maybe more like me. But me, I don't really call it preppy. That's just what Dakota calls it, and our little friend group now calls it, is what they would deem preppy. But we have different styles. My style has evolved since I was a little bit younger, and so is his. But this dude has fit in like each statistical category of human, and it blows my mind. But anyways, I digress on that. But it's been really interesting. But here we have, Dakota now as Dracula, fresh out of his catacomb, each and every day in the all black. This is a rare sighting. I need everybody to know that him in blue jeans is a rare sighting.
I actually just bought this one and one more pair the other weekend.
Why? Because Danielle loved him?
Yeah, I did. Just because I used to rock the blue jeans, so I can make the blue jeans work. It's fall time, whatever, I got the black, the jackets, the flannels, the whatnot, We're playing with the style a little bit. Just having a little fun, experimenting. Dracula's all about his experiment.
Yeah, got a trial in there.
So if I'm Dracula, does that make you Igor?
No, because I'm not ugly.
Nobody said anything about you being ugly.
You do every day.
Nobody said anything about you being pretty either.
Well,
I'm just saying, if I'm Dracula, does that make you Igor?
I'm definitely not mid. I'll tell you that. Really? That's embarrassing. Wow. Okay.
I mean, it's all out of love.
I'm gonna exit stage left. Yeah. Goodbye, guys.
That's right, dumbass.
Left on the camera.
No, but that would be stage right on the camera. That is stage left, but you're backwards.
anyways, my co-host is an idiot.
So, do we want to just jump right in?
Absolutely. We are the co-creators and founders of the Glenwood 500. Clock that for our listeners out there.
Glenwood 5.
It's been a long time.
We did this episode in the past. We're not going to do the whole Glenwood 5.
Heck
We're
no.
just going to give you some snippets and stuff of it. But, yeah, Glenwood 5, those of you that don't know what that is, we went to college, and where we met was in a town in North Carolina, Raleigh, what the fuck ever, doesn't matter. We went to a really, really small school. Like, literally, our school was one big block. And our freshman year together was actually the same year, and that was the same year that they decided to have men's baseball and men's soccer, which was the whole reason why both of us went there. And ironically, both of us had a part of history on the first ever men's baseball and soccer team. Go us. And then we'll get into some more of that in a little bit. But anyways, Glenwood 5, there was a strip down there of, 7, 8, 10 bars, something like that?
So back then, when we were in school, it was literally like it was about 5 or 6 bars.
There was a few other ones that we didn't.
There was a few other ones that we
into.
didn't go
Yeah.
into, but they weren't like
They weren't our
the
scene.
fist pumping crazy bars. But now I would say there's like
It's like
10
the
to
Glenwood
20.
15.
Yeah, it's wild. But it was mainly, we labeled it the Glenwood 500 because it was the Power 5 bars that were on the street of Glenwood in downtown Raleigh. And we had many a nights there where we just went batshit crazy doing God knows what. Half of them I do not remember. Shout out to Dev. I hope you're still on Uber probation, but that's besides the point.
That's bad.
Yeah, I mean, I back then I wasn't opposed to jumping out of moving vehicles.
Oh no, you were a fucking menace. So my nickname now is Dracula, as you guys know. My nickname then was Dad, because I was always the one to sit up against the back wall or in the corner or outside on the patio at the bars drinking, and then I'd go in and I'd check on my crew, mainly this knucklefuts, to make sure that, he was where he needed to be and not, face down in a toilet or fighting somebody or wandering off down the street, because he had a bad habit after a couple, back then your go-to was, what were those drinks called? The
liquid
marijuanas. You get this motherfucker a liquid marijuana, and he would turn into a completely different person. It's like a switch just went off, and he's like, "Ooh, what's this?" He was like a kid in a candy store for the first time ever, and you couldn't keep up with him.
Yeah, no, it was a lot, and I'll tell you, nothing worse than waking up the next day with your tongue stained blue from like whatever the
which is weird
mixer
because the
was.
drinks were green.
Yeah, they were green, but my
your
tongue was
always
always blue every time. It
and
was
liquid
always blue.
marijuana is not an illegal substance, so don't strike us, YouTube or Spotify or anything.
It's just a mixed drink.
It's
That's the
just
name of
an alcoholic beverage. You can look it up. It's just the name of it because of its color.
It's still one of the best ones. Every now and again, I'll dabble. I think we went on a bar crawl like later on after school a little bit.
They called it Shrek. They called it a
or was
Shrek
it?
drink.
No, it was themed after Rugrats.
Rugrats, that's what it was.
Yeah, what was it? What's the dinosaur, the toy dinosaur name in
Reptar.
Reptar. Yes, that was the name of it. And I was like, wait, I know this flavor.
Yeah.
And I took a couple sips, and I don't remember that bar crawl. But anyways.
No, that was a long bar crawl, too.
Yeah, it was.
They were not close together. But Glenwood 5, a lot of nights where we had spent way too much money on alcohol and way too much money on Ubers, McDonald's. Remember the night on the hood? I wouldn't say 9 times out of 10. 8 times out of 10, I elected to be the driver because I was dad of the group. So don't get me wrong, I had a couple. I do not advise this, but I had a couple, and I drove us more times than probably we should have. But there was this one night, Gregory was feeling, I don't know if he was feeling the LMs that he had, or if he was feeling this particular server through the McDonald's drive-through window.
I don't know. She kind of had a fatty on her when she threw it up out the window.
So we're
But she was old though. She was like 50.
I'm driving through the drive-through of McDonald's. There's 4 of us in the car.
Yeah.
And we're in our buddy's SUV at the time, and I'm driving, and they're all drunk. They're all fucking with the radio, blasting that shit. I'm like, we're in the drive-thru, y'all. Have some fucking class, whatever. She's trying to take our order, and then, little to my knowledge, she starts going in on the fucking music that we're playing, and she's throwing it out the window. So Greg jumps on top of the hood, and starts twerking on the hood.
That's right.
In the middle of the fucking drive-thru at 3 a.m. There's cars behind us and beside us. We're not the only ones in the parking lot.
I mean, how else would a brother wait for his McChicken? That Explorer.
Good girl.
Exactly. That Explorer is probably still pregnant from how I defiled the hood. But anyways, that's besides the point. But no, those were some of the best nights. So we had some of my favorite core memories are from some of those wild nights.
There was also a bar that we used to go to down there, which was not a part of the Glenwood Five, which the name of it back then was City Limits, but we called it
Shitty Limits.
Shitty Limits because you went there to get
Shitty.
Drinks were cheap. It was a small country little bar, so they did line dancing. It wasn't just your country line dancing. It was like your wobbles, your biker shuffles, which is one of our favorites, your Copperhead Roads, and a little mix of every kind of music.
Sometimes I feel like they played more rap than they did country music.
It was definitely a lot more shaken, which was ironic because the place was a fucking country bar. It was a saloon. City Limits Saloon, I think is what it was actually called.
Do you remember everybody would dance so hard that we broke a hole in the floor?
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure
ass dance
it was
floor.
a small
literally
dance floor.
Maybe another 5 feet of this room was how
maybe
big that dance floor was.
Maybe.
And
but we had some of the best nights there.
People or something on that fucking floor.
Yeah, I couldn't even tell you how bad we probably had the gonosyphilis herpelitis on our hands and fingertips from sliding on that floor.
Nasty.
Do you know how many stains on my kneecaps I have on like old pairs of jeans that I have from that place?
I don't have any of those pants anymore.
I mean, I don't either, but like I had to get rid of a lot of them because of that. We have those big brown spots on our kneecaps. Do you want to tell the story or do you want me?
You can do it.
All right. Well, Dakota and I are no strangers to the song Pony. So there was one night that Dakota and I easily cashed out with about $400. Pony came on, and at that point, we had been there a few times. So some people knew us, some people didn't. It is what it is. But people wanted us to dance, right? So we went there and we danced. And there was one night we ended up dancing on like so many people in this bar. And I think... There was one, I put somebody up against the railing of this bar, and I just basically started grinding on this person's face. But that's besides the point. But she ended up tucking a $100 bill in my belt, which was awesome because then that recharged my bank for the bar. So more LMs for Gregory. But anyways, I'll kick it back over to you.
What?
What's up, Beanie Girl?
Go get her.
Somebody come get her.
No, I think more... You were the one that did a lot more of the solo dancing and things like that. You and me, where most of our money came from, was doing our little slide across the floor and fucking around in a little circle. We'd always ended up in a fucking circle, which honestly I hated. I hated being in the fucking circle. I just did it to do it, and then I'd look up and notice I'm in the circle, and I'm like, oh shit,
gotta get it,
fucking A,
gotta get it.
But
no,
City Limits was definitely a. It lived up to its name for us for sure.
Oh yeah, I always remember, and I, it was hilarious because, do you remember the nights where our moms went out to the bar with us? So Dakota, not together, but like at different times.
Yeah.
But Dakota and I just so happen to have young moms. Okay, and I'm just gonna leave that there. Don't make us come kill you guys. But I'm kidding. Strike that from the record. But don't make us come after you. Anyways. We have younger moms, and I remember specifically, I do not remember if it was my mom or his mom, but when Dakota and I were making money at the bar, one of our moms was up on the upper floor of Shitty Limits, and I just remember them yelling, "Make that money, honey."
I'm pretty sure it was your mom.
It probably was Rachel, but that's besides the point.
Pretty sure it was your mom.
Yeah, no, it was funny, but we were down there dancing. We had mom's full blessing, apparently. But yeah, great times, great memories.
Hey, they didn't have to fund the alcoholism back then, so I'm sure they gave us the blessing.
Oh yeah,
Actually, I wasn't even in school at this point. I was working. You were the only
Yeah.
one still in school, so I would come up on my weekends and spend all my money. I worked 4 days a week, come up there Thursday night and stay Thursday night through Sunday and come home Sunday, and then
Yeah.
I'd do it again the next week.
It'd be crazy. Dakota would come up on a Thursday night. And he's like, "You guys want to go out? Yeah, sure. Why not? Fuck it." I'd go get absolutely plastered on a Thursday night and have nothing. I would either partially show up to class on Friday or just not show up at all.
I wasn't necessarily a great influence as a friend back then, but hey, memories. We're here now.
Fun fact: Gregory did graduate with a 3.5. Just gonna leave that there. I didn't fail. Didn't fail.
I didn't graduate.
Contrary to popular belief.
I dropped out.
Yeah,
College dropout.
you still make good money.
I do. Work my ass off for it in the
You
hard
do.
way, but you're living to learn.
Live and you learn.
Shitty limits. What's
Yeah.
good times.
Oh, I mean,
Sometimes
dude, so
I miss
many.
that place for the atmosphere of it.
I
Mainly
know, as well.
because there's not very actually I don't think there's really any places that are like that now.
No,
At least
it's
in
a
my,
good
'cause
mix.
you had that's the only reason I liked it is because you had the music was was all over the place. You had a little bit of like the punk rock, dad rock stuff. You had the rap. You had the country. You had, and you didn't really play any metal, but you had a good mix of stuff that you could dance to and party to and sing to. And
That's right.
Shit
They
like
had
that.
good bartenders there too.
They did.
Yeah,
Ironically, with there only being really like one bar, and technically there was two, but
yeah.
they were both.
There, yeah, there was
small enough.
one up on that back
One
wall,
circle
and then
one,
there
and
was
then the
that
back
circle
one.
one. Yeah, the people who generally worked in that circle one were pretty cool.
Bless them for
Bless them
keeping
for
up with all that shit.
dealing with us for years.
Because they used to let people get up on those bars and shit too, and
I still remember the bras just hanging on the string.
that place was
It's wild.
a HPV infested.
It was gross in there.
It was very.
I
gross.
understand
the
why it
bathrooms
closed.
were horrible.
They were so nasty.
I
The whole
hated
place
having to
was-
go to the bathroom in that fucking place.
So that place was actually really nasty, but it makes sense why it closed down. But I missed the vibes.
Thus, the reasoning for the name Shitty Limits.
That's right. Were you still in school when Coghlan's was there?
No.
Or no, not Coghlan. No, Coghlan's was the '90s bar. We went there for the bar crawl.
Oh,
That was
yeah,
before
yeah.
it closed. But then there was one on Hillsborough Street, and I'm gonna see if you know this one. But McDade's. Do you remember McDade's?
Mm-mm.
That place was booming on a Thursday night.
I was a good kid while I was there. While I went to school, I did not go out.
I dabbled.
I was a good kid.
You were.
It wasn't until I left college that I actually partied like I was in college,
I know.
which was weird.
See what happened.
I don't know.
Let's talk about it because it's weird because it's like we met, we got along really, really well. Then you left. We went a while without seeing each other. We hung out at the beach and then we took off
Yeah.
from there. It's really weird how it all lined up, but
Ooh, Venus. Oh, bad girl.
we're gonna take a brief pause.
Damn.
Jesus, girl.
Whoa.
What did you have?
You.
Oh my Venus. Baby, you're gonna have to go.
No. Hey, stop.
Oh.
Go check your drawers.
Oh my
Go
god.
check your drawers.
Are you blaming the dog?
That was definitely the dog.
Oh my god. That is lingering.
Go lay
Venus,
down.
quit shaking your ass in here, girl.
The boxer.
Oh my god.
Are you okay?
That is, God, just like your mother.
Yeah, definitely just like your mom. She gets it honest.
She does. God, I guess IBS runs in the family.
All right.
That is some feedback I got. Somebody did tell me that I talk about my my IBS a lot on this show. So here we are
there
again.
are worse things to talk about.
There are, but here
At
we are.
least you're not having a pity party or nothing. I mean, you're talking about, a real relevant issue.
Yeah,
Just
I
go
do
to the
have.
fucking doctor. Who gives a fuck? Fuck your IBS, bro.
Yeah, that's
God,
right.
You talk about it too much.
I literally have my primary care appointment next Monday, and that will be a topic of conversation. So we're all good. My belly just doesn't be acting right. Oh my god. full of air, full of shit.
Yeah, I be shitting.
I be shitting. Anyways, no, but dude, so many memories from back then, man.
Too many.
Too many, dude. So
A
what?
lot of them I
Give
don't
me your
remember
give me
anymore.
your top 3.
I still think my number one is when we got back, whatever the fucking apartment complex was you lived in at the time. You weren't in school.
Is
at
it
this
Blue
point.
Ridge?
Yeah, and you fucking yelling at the fucking storm drain. Fuck you, Penny.
Yeah.
This dude terrified of clowns.
I hate clowns.
Terrified of clowns. We used to fuck with him so much with clown masks.
Oh my god, it was ridiculous. You are cute. I know. Go stink
You're
up somebody
cute,
else.
your ass, not so much.
Go stink up somebody else, mamas.
Hey, no.
And, no, but honestly, dude, you hate me for it, but the night where we walked back from Glenwood,
No, I'm telling this story. Fuck you.
from Glenwood
I'm telling the
to
story.
my apartment.
So this was the night we went to Shitty Limits. Mind you, at the time, Shitty Limits, and where he currently lived, not currently, but at that moment in time where he lived when Shitty Limits was a thing, was 13 or 14? 14.2 miles away.
Oh yeah, it was a hike.
And he talked about my chameleon phase. I was wearing square toe double H cowboy boots. My jeans, flannel, undershirt. I always wear undershirts. And we go to leave, me, him, and our other friend at the time. And we're like, Greg, we got dropped off. We're like, Greg, who's picking us up? He's like, oh, hold on. I just got to walk up the street right over here. Call him. And he started walking off 2-3 blocks away. And I look at our buddy and I'm like, we're going to walk this whole thing back. Watch. So we started walking and Greg's up there on the phone and I can hear him. And his dumb drunk ass thinks that he's being quiet and he's not. And he's like, hey, what are you doing? Oh, you're asleep. Oh, we were just looking for a ride back. Oh, it's okay. I'll call someone else. And then click. And then on to the next one. This man spent fucking 3 miles on the phone with like 15 different people.
I did.
Only to turn around and tell us after we had walked 3 miles, well, there's a Waffle House right up here. We're going to get picked up right up here. Waffle House was closed, ironically. Bullshit. Fucking why is Waffle House closed at 2 in the morning? We ended up walking 14.2 fucking miles back. I'm in my boots. I took my flannel off. I'm fucking cussing. I'm throwing a fucking fit. Pissed. The next day we were supposed to go. I don't even remember what the fuck we were supposed to go do, but my feet were hurting so goddamn bad. I was like, yeah, there ain't no fucking way in hell I'm moving. I'm sitting here with my feet propped up all fucking day. And that's what we did. I didn't do shit.
We were supposed to go golf.
Yeah, fuck golf. Golf's for fucking losers anyways. Who golfs?
It was so funny. Now, mind you, they asked me, they were like, Greg, you lined up a ride for us to get home, right? Yeah, sure. By the time we left, I was plastered. I didn't even know who was supposed to be our ride home. Any of it. And I knew we were going to walk because there's no better way to sober up than walking. Got to get your 10,000 steps in every day. But it's still one. They literally, the two, Dakota and the other guy who was with us still to this day, pissed off at me for this. Absolutely.
I was the most pissed.
They
I was
were
the only one in
irate.
fucking boots. Y'all were in tennis shoes.
I was vibing. I felt great.
My fucking feet killed me for 2 days.
I still to this day don't understand why we didn't just order an Uber.
Because you were the one that was supposed to take care of our ride home. I wasn't going to fucking pay for it. I'd also pay for drinks all night.
Yeah. That's wild. But anyways. Oop. What do you got for us, man? Give me another one. What else do you have? I go deep in the archives here.
Let's see. Oh. I like how I came up all the way up there on my birthday weekend.
You're still gonna grief me for this, huh?
And
Still
there was
to
a bar.
this day.
There was a bar. No, not a bar crawl. What was it? A block party.
Yep.
A block party. So we're sitting there tailgating out of the back of my fucking truck. And then somehow on my birthday, they're all feeding me drinks and shit. Not a lot. And it gets to the end of the fucking day or night or whatever. And they're like, hey, Dakota, give us a ride all back to our spots. I had like 5 people crammed inside my truck and then like 4 or 5 more people in the bed of my fucking truck. And I had to go to like 6 different places to drop all these fucking people off because everybody lived somewhere different. On my birthday, I was like, what the fuck? This bullshit.
I've been infiltrated by a cute pup.
Well, careful.
Venus, I love you, honey, but you gotta go.
Come here.
We'll give you some love right after this. How about that?
Your mama will be home soon.
Mm-hmm. But no, I remember the night of the block party, partially.
40 was there.
40 was there. We had a great time. Actually, I'm not going to put this out into the ether, but yeah, that was a great night. If you want to know, you might just need to come back and listen to me tell that story at a later date. I'm not going to put that out there into the ether today, but I will release that at some point. That's tea when it comes to this guy right here at the block party. But that night was really fun. I remember we met up with 40 and Rodney and a few of those folks out there, and
TK and
yeah, a lot of guys. And I remember we had a whole bed full of people in your truck, and we pulled up at the cookout, and we all were ordering shit.
yeah,
I think we ordered $300 a cookout that night.
yeah.
And then we all just like kind of laid it out on a table and just free-for-alled. What a birthday dinner.
Yeah, what a birthday dinner. Birthday dinner, and I was the driver and the DD and the dad and made sure everybody got home and tucked in safe.
I couldn't think of a better role for you.
Yeah.
Dracula. But, you know, at least I can provide better birthday dinners now.
Yeah, it only took 15 fucking years.
Well, I wasn't 15 when I was in college, dick.
Well, we've been friends for 15 years.
We have been, but it's been a while.
Oh, well, speaking of college, let's flip the script and go back to being both making history.
Oh God.
You want to give your stat line first, or should I give my stat line first? Obviously, I said it already. Both of us were on the first ever men's baseball and soccer team. And if you can't tell which of us played which sport, what the fuck's wrong with you?
Yes. No.
Technically, I did play baseball when I was younger, but I stopped playing baseball to play more soccer. So.
I never played soccer. I gave up on my soccer career when I was playing soccer at recess, and I was dribbling the ball away. I had a little interception action, and I was dribbling it up to try to go score, and then my foot went over the top of the ball. I slipped, and I fell into a mud puddle, and I never wanted to play soccer again. This true story happened when I was 6. Never had any interest.
That sounds like something that would happen in like Hey Arnold or something.
Exactly. That was my life, and I got picked on for it like every day for a week. So I never wanted to play soccer. I actually boycotted the sport before I even knew what the word boycott meant. Yeah, here we are. But history books. Mine's actually really embarrassing. So I am in the stat book for WPU, for the baseball team, for making the first error in school history. First batter, popped the ball up. I played second base. And the ball, for the people who are watching on camera, you're going to see me using my hands, but for the audio listeners only, it cuffed my glove. Hit me right here at the lower part of the glove. So it's around, the entry hole where I put my hand into the glove. And the ball hit right there, and it fell and it hit the dirt. And I just remember laughing my ass off. And I heard my dad like gasp from the stands, and he was like, that never happens. But yes, I made the first error in school history. But to go alongside that, I also have the highest fielding percentage in school history, my sophomore and junior year. So we're just going to leave that right there.
Yeah, obviously I'm on the first ever men's soccer team, and I also recorded for my the first ever assist in school history, because I played center mid. So, if you're scoring from center mid a lot, you shouldn't be in college at that point. You should be playing somewhere else. But
yeah. A lot of good sports memories, but I actually kind of want to stay here for a minute because we both grew up in sports. Mm-hmm. We both have a lot of memories from sports, and I'm sure a lot of scars, a lot of injuries that have lingered.
Yeah,
a lot of stuff that just.
I got one story. I thought my career in life was over.
Yeah, there's a lot. So I've always wanted to have this conversation with you. We never really talk like sports before. Like we've talked it around like simple stuff and like very minuscule stuff and focused around college, but we never really dove deep into it together. So it might be like a first time live for the show.
Yeah. Where you want to start?
I mean, I guess it depends, man. You want to like talk?
Give me,
Yeah,
give me
let's
some
talk
of your best memories first.
best.
Core memories.
Yeah. So I played on
Let me rephrase. Core memories that you could relive. A couple glory day moments.
Glory Day moments. Yeah, not Glory Hole. I'm kidding, but no. Yeah, Glory Day moments. There are a few. So one, no, hitting your first home run. There, I don't know that there's a better feeling in the world.
Your first home run in the glory hole.
I did tee that up, huh? Anyways, no, dude, I can remember my first home run.
Was it like, coach's pitch?
Oh my god! No, it was on church, or is at church on Sunday. But
church ball.
It was a little church ball. Anyways,
okay.
No, I remember.
Monetized.
And you want to talk about mothers? No, dude. First home run. Quit sidebarring me, sidetracking me. You're gonna get me all messed up. But no, dude. There's nothing like hitting that first home run, and I'm sure it's a similar feeling when you make your first goal, right? It's like that.
I would compare a home run probably to a free kick.
A free kick. Okay. So, how do I want to explain this? Like, I was a contact hitter. I really didn't hit for a lot of power until I got a little bit older. But even when I got older, I didn't really hit home runs, but I hit the ball hard a lot. So that first home run, I remember it like it was yesterday. I was 14. We were playing against Warwick National All-Star team. And I remember a few of my buddies who played travel ball with me on my travel ball team were in the stands watching the game. And they all stood up and they yelled, "No better time for you to hit your first." And my friend, his name's Chili, he came down to the fence, and he was a center fielder for my travel ball team. He came up to the fence and he dapped me up to the fence and he goes, "Chavo, it's time to hit your homer." Did she do it again?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my Lord. Venus. All right.
Stop giving her the peanut butter.
Go get the peanut butter, baby.
No, stop giving her the peanut butter.
But no, so Chili dapped me up to the fence, and we're sitting there, and we're kicking it, and we're hanging out right there at the fence for a second, and he tells me, he goes, "Greg, it's about time." And I was like, "Time for what?" He goes, "It's time for you to circle the bases, brother." And I'm like, "All right, you got it. I'm going to do it right here." And I turned around, and I said, "First pitch?" And he goes, "Yeah, why not?" So I go up there, and I was dedicated to just letting it all out on that first pitch. I was going to swing the stick is really what I was after. So I went up there, and their ace pitcher at the time, and it's crazy that I remember this, guy's name was Matt Westbrook. He really threw hard as a young player, you know, because at that point we were playing up on the bigger bases. Mm-hmm. I think the fence might have...
Big boy fields.
Yeah, the big boy fields. And I think, and mind you, I was 14 when I hit this thing too. So I think the fence, it was probably... Yeah, I hit it out in left field, and it was about the size of the Yankees left field wall. So like 310, 315.
Yeah, I was going to say 325 or something like that.
Something like that. Guy threw the hell out of the ball, and I clobbered that son of a bitch. He threw it about chest high. I swung hella early. I even remember the bat I was using. I was using a white TPX X03, and ball was clobbered. And that ball now rests in my office at work.
All I can tell you about my baseball days is my coaches loved me for center field because I had just come out of soccer season, so I was the only one in shape. And I had one coach for my first 3 years look at me and tell me, he was like, "I don't care if you trust or don't trust your left or right fielder." He's like, "You're fast enough, and I know you'll catch it. Go over there and take it." He said, "If they got a problem, they can come to me." So what do, I was all around that outfield catching fly balls every day.
Uh-huh. I mean, that's right. We all knew when we were younger the right fielder was the worst player on the team.
I played center, and I didn't believe in the cutoff man. You fucking
You
infielders
still-
hated me.
Of course.
Oh, I yeeted it. If it was a play at third base and I'm at the fence, I'm throwing it from the fence to third baseman. I had the arm to do it,
God,
but
you
I would also
stress
throw
me
it straight
out.
to the fucking catcher too.
You stress me out. Got to hit your cutoff.
And it just takes too much time to catch
Do
and turn around.
do your job. We need you to execute.
I did. I got plenty of outs
All
that
right,
way.
fine.
This was also rec league, and I was like 11, 12.
Fair enough. Well, so what about you? Let's pass it over to the
So
brass.
there are three big ones. My best one would probably be the last one, but I won 3 championships. I think I might have won 1 or 2 more, but when I say I won, I scored the game-winning goal to solidify the championship. And obviously, this was just rec ball or whatever growing up. But I remember my last year of rec, I was in middle school, 6th grade, I think, maybe 7th grade or in between, and this particular year of rec, I would say 5 to 6 of us that played on the team together had played on the team together for years. So we were really good. We knew each other's ins and outs, whatever. So all year we were beating people, 10-0, 11-0. There was one team that we beat. We beat them. The team that we played in the championship, we beat them the first time 9-0. We beat them the second time 14-0. And I played striker back then, not center mid. So mind you, I'm getting 4 or 5 goals a game. And they made it to the championship game with us, and they broke the rules and had brought in a travel ball goalie. So the refs let them get away with it, whatever. League let them get away with it. We're like, all right, fine. So the game's tied 2-2 the whole way through. And I remember this was the second half. We're going towards the scoreboard. The scoreboard's off to the right. And I get Jesus plays me a through ball from I'm just past behind the midfield line. Plays me a through ball. The 2 defenders try to sandwich me, and I just jump and spin through them.
Yeah.
They collide. Perfect through ball. I just keep going, and then I was just off center to the right. Goalie's coming out, and I remember looking at him, and I didn't say much back then. I was a shit talker, but I didn't use the profanity that I did these days. But I remember looking at him, and I was like, you're going to be mad at this one. And the way that I shot the ball, I was just inside the 18 marker. The way that I shot the ball, it made it look like I was going to go to his left. And I just hooked it with my foot last second to go to his right. And he started going to the wrong way. And then it went in. But I remember when I got the ball, put that first touch on it, looked up at the scoreboard, there was 4 seconds left. I was like, I got to make it now or we're not going to win this game. Shot the ball. Won the game. They literally blew the whistle to do one final kick to start the kickoff, and then blew the whistle again. Game was over. And I just jumped up. You did the signature. Everybody does it. Celebratory soccer goal victory where you just jump up and punch the air or whatever. And I was that one was probably
The
my
lethal
best.
fist pump.
Lethal fist pump.
Oh,
Straight in.
I
I
love
probably got at least 4 feet of air.
Dude, I have chills right now. That's kind of hype.
I fucking dude.
I can see you doing it right now. Just
What was funny was all my teammates and everything, and the way that I ran, soccer players or whatever, we tend to just run and celebrate our goals and stuff like that. I ran kind of looped around this way towards where all the fans were sitting. So I saw my mom and grandparents and things like that, and some other people over there cheering for me, and my teammates are coming this way. And I look across the field, and I see my dad was my coach back then, and I just remember seeing my dad look at the other coach and be like, fuck you. I was like, yes, Dad's proud.
Oh, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, my dad was a menace as my baseball coach. He had these things, we called them Bradderisms, and then this thing where it was stressing and spitting. So if we were 2 outs and we had bases loaded or something, my dad is just pacing in the third base coach box, just spitting, just and then he would do this thing where he would and it's gonna sound weird on the mic, but he would do this triple quadruple spit where he was real quick, and it had like this very
Did he have
distinct
seeds or something in his mouth?
Not every time. He would just be like dry spitting sometimes because my dad, he
Yeah.
can't help himself. He drinks like 30 cups of coffee a day.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm surprised,
He's still
that
got kidneys.
that he still has kidneys. But yeah, the dude, it was just traumatic. I actually recently, when on my birthday, I caught up with an old teammate of mine because he reached out to me and he said happy birthday, and we started reminiscing a little bit on some of the baseball war stories. And my dad came up in conversation, and we were talking about how it's trauma and we have PTSD from dealing with Brad. It's freaking nuts.
See, so my dad was my coach from whenever I started, 3-4 years old, whatever it was, all the way up until I left to go to college. So all through high school, my dad was my coach forever. And in rec specifically, because I played striker, and a lot of those games where we would win, 10 something, 0, whatever, I had played in the same county, for rec, school ball, travel ball, and everything for so long that all the refs knew me by first name. And to the point to where I would go up to the center ref, and I would be like, how are we going to call the game today? And he'd be like, why? I was like, because that determines how I'm going to play.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't to be, a dickhead or anything like that. I just knew the game in and out. I knew the rules in and out. And I could always tell how the game was going to be called based on who my center ref was. So that changed how I would play. And there would be games, mind you, they knew me by first name. They knew my dad by first name for sure, because my dad's very fucking vocal. And yelling, cussing up a storm, got thrown out of more games than I can count. And he would sit there, and the refs wouldn't call the game the right way. And he would yell, Dakota. Now, mind you, my nickname in soccer was Cody because it was quicker and easier to say. So everybody that played with me called me Cody. Nobody called me Dakota. So he would yell Dakota, and I'm like, shit. And I played striker, so I had to run from all the way up at the top of the field all the way down to our defensive side in front of the goal, grab the ball, dribble it all the way up the field, and score just for my dad to look at the ref and look at the other coach and be like, if y'all don't call the game the right way, I'm just going to yell at him to do that over and over and over again. And I'm like, please call the game the right way, because I'd get exhausted.
Yeah.
Because I would do it 3-4 times in a half, and he would yell at me to do it. And just he would do some of the same things, the pacing. And now back then, my dad, he was slightly slimmer than he is now, but still had fucking like boulder forearms. Like my quads were his forearms.
Yeah.
Like he just a massive dude.
He was just
and to
bigger.
see, and like this, if you're watching, this is how my dad would run. Thumbs up, short, fucking like T-Rex
That-
arms.
It makes perfect sense.
That's how he would run, full
Oh,
sprint.
Keith.
And then it was like a little bob, like it was goofiest fucking shit ever. But when he's sitting there on the sideline and he's pacing back and forth, we were just like, dude, you look so unorthodox. Like it does not fit your physical stature for you to look like you're a fucking prima donna. Like
He was an arms crossed like pacer,
no,
wasn't he?
no, he'd
No?
fucking sit there like hip out one way and like, the fuck are we doing? And I'm like, that's my
What
dad.
you got going on, brother?
I'm like, that's my
No.
dad.
Oh my god, having my dad as my coach, it was it was a disaster. Him and I fought so much.
Oh, same.
Dare I say, a little too much. It definitely, now that I'm older, wouldn't be a Demons and Gentlemen's episode if I didn't bring something up. But it actually impacted me a lot. Because we fought a lot. It impacted our relationship a lot, but a lot of our memories was through sports. So I'm not going to take it too deep there for now. Maybe I'll dabble in that here in a minute, but the memories were good. My teammates, I love my teammates. My travel ball team, we kicked ass, dude. Like we beat the hell out of everybody, but we weren't a team that was loaded with a boatload of D1 talent. I think we had some solid D1 players on it. There were some D2 players on it, D3 players for my college athletes out there, people who are sports fans who listen. That's the hierarchy system of, college sports. D1 being all of the big schools, D2 are kind of your mid-grade schools, and D3 basically your smaller schools in the country. And our team was just scrappy, man. There's really no other way to put it. And I'll tell you, we'd go in, and there was one team we played. They were the DPL Cougars out of Portland, Oregon. And this team, every single player on it they were all committed to a D1 school. And then there was our team. Hell, my younger brother Brad played on my team at the time, and we busted them up. And I mean, we tore them alive. It's because we just would not quit. Overall, they were way more talented than we were. There's no question. Mm-hmm. Just the way that all of the players played the game, much more talented than we were. But we had no quit. And that was just what I loved about that team. And like, to me, we did that time after time. Every time I go home and I look in my dad's garage, he has this whole wall. It's just full of plaques and trophies and different things from all the tournaments that we won. First place gold bracket. Or maybe, there were some times we lost too. We got second place gold bracket. Hardly any silver or any bronze brackets, whatever. I can assure you we either went 2-0 on Saturday or 1-1 on Saturday, and then we got there at 8 a.m. on a Sunday, and we didn't get home until like 11 p.m. because we were winning every game on a Sunday.
Yeah. It still doesn't necessarily make a whole lot of sense to me, but Dad started me out as a striker. I get when I was really young why, and it was just because, you know, as a kid you want to score the goals.
Mm-hmm.
But he told me as I started getting older, he was like, "We'll finish out your rec career with you as a striker." He said, "But I'm going to tell you now that when you get into school, when you play school ball, that you're going to get moved." He's like, so I looked at him and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "You're going to get pushed back to center mid, if not further." I'm like, "Well, I don't want to play defense." He was like, "Well, you'll probably play center mid because you're really good at attacking the goal." But he said, "You're also really fucking good at playing defense, so you're going to get stuck in the middle." So middle school, and that is probably the one thing that I can give my dad credit for, was him being his physical stature and the way that he coached me may have been a little unorthodox and everything like that, but it allowed me to be able to somehow impress from the jump every single coach I ever tried out for. Right away would win them over. They'd come up to me. They'd be like, "What'd you say your name was again?" And first one to get a letter or whatever to say like, "Hey, yeah, you made the team." Impressed my middle school coach, impressed my high school coach, made the team.
Who, your dad did?
No, me.
Oh, okay.
Me. So, and he, like I said, him being as big as he is, to give you a little insight, my dad's 6'2", like anywhere from back then to now or whatever, I'd say he was anywhere between like 225 to like 250. He fluctuated a lot, but he was big and stocky. I don't want you to think that he was just like a big guy. He was pretty stout. He was pretty strong, but he never took it easy on me. And the same core, like 5 guys of us that I talked about, we all played in high school together, middle school, and most of us played in middle school together. We all played in high school together.
Mm-hmm.
So my freshman year of high school, me being one of the ones to impress the coaches, my freshman year of high school, we started 8 freshmen on varsity. We put seniors on JV. We were that good.
Yeah.
We sucked as a unit because high school was way different, playing seniors and everything like that.
Yeah.
But it was interesting going from being a striker and scoring 4 or 5 goals a game to being a center mid, because then I had to get creative because I liked scoring.
Mm-hmm.
Now, don't get me wrong, I liked assisting and everything too. And, you know, stat line for my 4 years in high school, I think I had 26, 27 goals and like 75 plus assists, which is a fuck ton. But ironically, most of my goals came from either free kicks or from 35 plus yards out.
Yeah.
And then I had 4 goals that I remember that were from 40 to 50 yards out.
Got it.
From the half-field line. And I just remember scoring those, and I'm like, what the hell? My little ass can kick the ball that far? But there was one game specifically where a lot of us that, like freshmen, when we went from freshman year to sophomore year to junior year, those same core guys kind of had the same age group, played the same other people in travel ball.
Mm-hmm.
And there were two big travel clubs back then.
Did you play a lot of travel?
I did. I played for a few years before the politics got involved because it took the love out of the game for me. And I was like, I just want to play. But those same there was like 4 or 5 different high schools where there was probably 3 to 4, maybe 5 guys that were all on these 2 different travel club teams. Now, the club that I played for, there was 2 of them because there were so many of us at that same age group, and then there was one other club that had just one team. But we would all see each other because we're all in conference play, so we'd play each other twice a year. And there was one goalie that he was the best goalie out of all of them, and nobody could score on him. But I managed to score on him from a free kick 35 yards out. Top corner, top bins. Never expected me to go there. Honestly, it was so good of a shot that after I had kicked it, I thought I missed. And then all my teammates and everything are down there celebrating, and then I hear the crowd celebrating, and I'm like, oh, I fucking made that shit?
Yeah.
Like, highlight for sure.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of highlights that I can run through. I'll tell you, playing on TV was cool. I got the opportunity twice to play on TV.
You got to play on the boob tube?
Yeah, on the boob tube. That was fun. I'll tell you, I remember we were playing Ferrum, and this was college.
College, I was about to say Ferrum, I know them.
It was so cold, and I just remember a guy who played on my travel team, and then there was another guy I played a lot against in travel baseball. But then I played with him on one season right there before I kind of ended that travel career of mine. And they were like, Greg hits the ball well. He's a gap-to-gap hitter, but let's come in. Let's take the shallow gap away. Because I would hit a lot of low-line drives right over the infielders' heads into the gap that would just be going so hard that they'd roll past the outfielders if they took a bad angle on the ball. Mm-hmm. Well, I remember these guys, and the pitcher they had was throwing so hard, man. He had D1 talent, this pitcher, and I think, honestly, he ultimately ended up going to a D1 school later on. He was throwing easy 90+, and he threw me an upper fastball right at my letters, and I smashed it over the right fielder's head, and it was like one hop the fence, and I remember sliding into second base, and I popped up, and I just yelled at the dugout. I was like, let's fucking go. And our thing in college was we did the DX, so we used to do that to the pitcher. So he turned around, and I went just one good time at him, and he was not happy. Needless to say, I got hit my next at bat, but I did do that, and that was fun. But there's so many memories, but I'm curious to know about the times that you failed, because for me in sports, I can remember how like those moments were really impactful on me as a young kid, and then even when I got older too, a little bit.
Well, for me, I would say that I felt like there was a lot more times that I had failed. And you can kind of see it over there. It's hidden behind the box or whatever. But most of my career, I was the captain. So I carried the weight of the team and the responsibility of the team and the wins and the losses of the team a lot harder than I would say everyone else. And don't get me wrong, as a player and on the team and everything, the wins are great and the losses suck. But I had higher expectations and standards for myself when it came to the game. And being able to, not just, my dad didn't give me the captain's band because I was his son. He made me fucking earn it because he took it away from me too. He was like, you didn't talk at all last game. You don't get this shit this week. So it made me respect it a lot more. So I felt a lot more, I wouldn't even say pressure. I felt a lot more, pride in being able to be the leader and carry the weight of the team and try and uplift my team when it was, we played like shit. Like I said, my first 2 years of high school, we started 8 freshmen. My freshman year, we went 3-12. Oh, it was horrible. Horrible.
Rough year.
We scored a lot of goals, got a lot of assists. We just couldn't fucking close out the games. Sophomore year, we did a little bit better. We went 5-10. 5 9 or some shit, whatever it was. And then it wasn't until junior year and senior year where we were competing. And senior year, we were one game away from playoff contention. And that would have been the first time in probably like 20, 30 years that our school had gone back to playoffs. And, you know, to miss it by that fucking much, just one more goal to get one more point would have decided it for us. And, you know, carrying a lot of that and knowing that you feel like you give it your all, but then you go back and you look at it and you're like, well, I could have done this different. I could have done that different. So then I'd start to get in my head and I'm like, well, then if you could have done that different, it wasn't that you made mistakes. It was that you didn't give it your best. So then you failed yourself by not playing 110%. So that's where a lot of my failure came in, because I would go back and play through the game in my head and watch. So in high school, we had some of the kids' moms record the stuff for us, so we would all get DVDs and watch it back. And I'm like, why the fuck you making that decision? So just, you know, part of that was just the determination and grit to try and be the best and do the best. But a lot of it was, you know, feeling like you didn't do enough when you could have done more.
No, I feel that. And I know for me, the way that failure looked for me was a little bit different. So when I was younger, I was damn good. Like when I was up to 13, 14 years old, I was damn good. I hit a couple of years, like maybe 2.5, dare I even say 3 years, where I really struggled with baseball. And I don't know if it was from burnout, because I played spring, summer, fall. December and January were the only 2 months off every year that I had. And I was just tired and I was exhausted, man. But I'll tell you, when I was younger, I was a dominant pitcher, dude. Like, full transparency, I was this size at the age of 12. So I shot up and I was bigger than everybody, and I threw hard. And I was that 12-year-old who was throwing in the 70s, and I could even push it close to 80s. But then everybody else started growing up around me. I stopped. So 14, 15, 16 years old, I'm playing ball all seasons of the year, but I stopped growing. And I was a smaller guy. I'm only 5'8", and at that point in time, I was about a $130, $145 at that point. And I just didn't have strength. I was not very strong to kind of keep up with my age at the time, and I kept on going. And I was a really good hitter too, and I was a good pitcher, and my position started to change, and I went from being a primary shortstop to moving over to being a second baseman. And then I went from being, you know, a 2 hitter, dropping down to a 5, 6, 7 hitter for a little bit, and then I popped back up later on in my baseball career, like late high school and early college, and all throughout college actually, to being a 2 hitter, and I ended up playing second base all throughout it. But how it looked was like, when everybody started growing up around me, these guys were hitting the ball out of the park. Hi, Venus. These guys were hitting the hell out of the ball, and I was still just struggling to find the gaps and getting it out of the infield, because I just wasn't very strong. And I, you know, was working out, and I started picking that up a little bit, and that helped a little bit. But it was also really intimidating, because I was at a school, honestly, my high school, we won back-to-back state championships multiple times.
Yeah.
We were a baseball school, still are. That town just breeds baseball players. Baseball players and wrestlers were the 2 things in my hometown that were really good. And at the time, we had 4 players on our varsity team who were getting drafted out of high school too, not only twice, but like maybe 3 times. All of them ended up going to play in college, and then ultimately ended up getting drafted and played in the pros for a long time. But I remember like seeing that. I wanted so desperately to be that, and I got into my head so much, and it really prevented my overall performance and what that looked like from developing, because I was so caught up in what everybody else was doing and not really paying attention to my development and making myself get better.
Yeah.
So I spent like 2 years really down in the dumps, beating myself up. And then one day I just said, fuck it. I got to get back to me. I got to get back to the basics. And I just remember having a game where I just popped off and went absolutely electric. And then my spark came back, and I rode that wave all the way through college.
See, it was for me like it how I warmed up in high school. Mind you, my dad was my coach. He would bring a 16-pound bowling ball. You're probably like, what the fuck for, right? I took all the throw-ins from half field in. I could throw the ball 40, 50 yards legally without doing the front flip and all that extra bullshit to generate momentum and everything. So I had a different work ethic. And like I told you, I played baseball. Like as a kid, I played soccer was number one. Basketball was number two. I never played football, but I played baseball. And then I stopped playing basketball and only played soccer and baseball. And then they finally had brought spring soccer. So then I played soccer in the fall and soccer in the spring and stopped playing baseball. So it was at that point, I think I was like 10, 11, and I started playing year round. And then I got into travel ball and I got into school ball and everything like that. So it was the one thing that was like a constant that I always knew would be there. And it wasn't until senior year, halfway through the season, where I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do. My whole life has been soccer. My whole being has been being the athlete and the physical, determined grass fairy that people want to fucking call it that I am. And I don't know what I was going to do because at the time I wasn't committed to going to Peace because I didn't even know about fucking Peace yet. And we had that one fucking college fair at school, and I'm going around talking to the schools, and the only question I was asking, do you guys have a soccer team? Do you guys have a soccer team? Can I have the coach's number? And then I called around several schools. I actually went and tried out at sophomore year of high school. I went and had a tryout at UNC Chapel Hill. And then for the most part, that went well, but we'll save that story for another time. And then junior year, I think it was junior year, I had a tryout at Wingate University. Tryout went to fucking shit because it was in the middle of the winter. It had rained, snowed. The field was a fucking putt. It was so bad you'd kick the ball and it'd stop a foot in front of you. And they wanted us to do the whole tryout that way. And it was a fucking shit show. They only picked one guy, and they already knew they were going to pick him. They just had to have the tryout as a formality. It was bullshit. But how I ended up going to Peace was because I had asked, hey, do you have a team? Hey, do you have a team? And it was between two schools, Peace and St. Andrews were going to be the two schools that I was going to go to play at. And neither one of the coaches wanted. They asked me my background and what my stats were and things like that, and they were like, yeah, you can come play for me. I chose Peace over St. Andrews. So that's how I ended up there. I did it myself. I had no clue, and I had that moment and that conversation in my head. I'm like, well, what the fuck is it going to look like for you when soccer is no longer a thing?
Yeah.
Because even after Peace, I only went for 2 years and played for 2 years. Even after, I came back and played Adult League for 2 years. And then COVID happened, and I stopped. Now, had it not been for COVID, I probably would still be playing.
Yeah.
In some form or fashion. I don't know if I'd get back into it now. Don't get me wrong. I miss it like fucking crazy, and I still think I could fucking be good at it and make some of these fucking younger kids look stupid, but I just don't know if I would do it.
Yeah.
I'm also too fucking old for that shit.
Yeah, it's been so long.
I coached too. Coaching was fun.
Yeah.
It's not the same, but it was like it brought a different love for the game because it challenged me in ways that I had never been challenged in the game because I'm having to think about it from a different perspective now.
Yeah.
So
the only way I'd get into coaching is I'd go back and I'd coach high school age kids.
Oh, that's what I did, yeah.
Or I'd coach an elite travel ball team.
Yeah, it would have to be one of the two.
It would have to be one of the other.
14 to hell, I'd probably coach 20-year-olds. I honestly think, now this might be a little overzealous and everything, but I have made it my job to study this fucking game growing up. I honestly think I could probably coach an MLS team maybe probably more on the lesser side. The first year would not go well. But if you let me be with that group of guys for at least a year, two, and let me get into the system and everything, I think I could be a really good high-level coach. I tried to ultimately get into college coaching, but they wanted me to have a degree. And I'm like, motherfucker.
Yeah.
I was this close. Everything was there. They were willing to have me be the coach, but it was the degree part where they were like,
so would you go back and do it?
Go back and
would you get your degree so you could do
to
it?
be a coach? No, because the only way that I would go and be a coach is if it was at the professional level, because that's the only way that I would make anywhere close, if not more, than the amount of money that I do now. Because I'd also have to pay for my own benefits and stuff too. So I'd have to make more than I make now to offset that.
Gotcha.
College doesn't pay unless you're like fucking Bill Belichick or what was the Alabama coach, Nick Saban or somebody like that.
Some of the I mean they stagger them, but it depends on the school.
Your run of the mill schools and your run of the mill coaches and everything across the board, you're not getting paid nowhere near enough.
Yeah, like JUCOs and community colleges, they're not making nothing. D3, D2, D1 coaches, it depends on how successful the school is. And they can
I do wish the NIL shit was a thing when we were in school.
That would have
been fucking great.
You'd have made a boatload of cash.
Yeah, shit.
With your TikTok stuff, I'm sure. But
I didn't do TikTok back then.
I know you didn't, but I'm saying you could have.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if that was a thing when we were in school, we could have probably popped off on that stuff. But no, I mean,
those
dude,
glory days, man.
There's so many, man, when it comes to sports, and honestly, it's left me with a lot of different scars and whatnot too. I'd say
for sure,
so many.
Both
I mean,
actual and internal.
Yeah,
Speaking of, there was one story I wanted to tell, not to cut you off, but back in the rec days, all my rec games, ironically, I could take you to them. Were at the same complex across the same 4 fields. But there was this one game where it wasn't raining that day, but it had rained the day before. So the field was a little, slicker. And this goalie on the other team, for some reason, wanted to play. A soccer field. You've got the little 6-yard box and the 18. The 18's the big goal box that they stay in. This goalie was playing outside the 18.
Mm-hmm.
At that age, I have no idea why. And I was playing striker, so I kept getting fed through balls, and I would beat him and everything, and I'd scored on him a couple times already. But I had gotten this one, and it was close. He was coming out, and
was he?
I went to go and chip the ball up over his legs, and I actually made contact with the ball to chip it up over his legs. But he had metal studs on. Because the ground, they're called soft ground studs, because the ground was soft. And so I chipped it up with this foot, so the left leg was planted, and he come in studs up right across my leg. My cleat had dug in, and by the time he finally had caught his momentum to push through, I had flipped over, and I thought and swore I heard my leg snap, and I did not move. I laid there, and I screamed. I heard all the fans and everything just quiet. I've never heard a sports complex get so quiet.
Yep.
And I just remember I'm holding my leg. I swore it was broken. I swore he snapped my fucking shin in half. And then
was it his leg?
No, he was fine. It was just the sound of our cleats hitting, because his right foot, because he slid right foot up, left foot on the ground. His right foot studs hit me in the leg, and his left foot come across the lower part of my leg, and so you just heard the cleats smack.
Yeah.
And
I have a similar story to that.
I swear it felt, but it felt like it, because the studs were so aggressive back then.
Yeah.
They're not what they are these days. Dude, I had never cried on a field like that.
Yeah, I'll tell you, the worst for me I have a few. There have been a few injuries that I've had. But the worst one wasn't even an injury, but it was the scariest. I was pitching, and I still even remember who the hitter was. His name is Jeremy Collins. And this dude was pretty good at 12. He was one of the better players on the other team. And I was pitching, and this dude hit a laser. I mean, an absolute laser up the middle. And he hit it so hard, and we're playing on a short distance. I turned real quick. Sorry about that. Turned real quick, and I threw my glove up, and I turned my head around. Ball nailed me right in the back of the head. And when I tell you my mom was on the field so quick, my mom, I've never seen my mom move like that, but I was laid out in the field. Dude just hit a crazy laser line drive, hit me right in the back, in like the center back of my head, or the back center of my head, and laid my ass out. I stood up afterwards, and I was like, let me keep pitching. But they like did this thing on me, and one eye was like over here, another one was, I was just dizzy. Nothing was wrong. I had no concussion. I had no nothing. I just had a big old welt on the back of my head. I ended up going to the hospital that night. They checked me. Nothing was wrong, but it definitely knocked me out because I was out cold on the ground for a few minutes.
See, that's why I stuck to outfield. I had my first 3 years, I had the same coach in baseball. Fourth year, they switched me and put me on a different team with a different coach. And he looked at me. He's like, what position you play? I was like, center field. He's like, I'm going to put you at second. I was like, no, you're not. He's like, yeah, I've got my outfielders. I'm like, I guarantee you I'm better. I was like, I know I'm faster. He was like, I don't care. I'm putting you at second. I was like, all right, whatever. Never played it in my life. Never played infield. And couple second practice, whatever. He's like, you got your cup? I was like, no. He's like, why not? I was like, I played outfield. I don't need a cup.
Man, screw cups.
No,
I never wore a cup. I played 3 years in college, and I never wore a cup.
He would purposely try to make it seem like I needed to wear it. But this is why I hated infield. At least where we played, the fucking infield was shit.
If you get hit in the nuts, you're a terrible infielder.
No.
You should quit.
The field that the infield that we played on was like red clay dirt.
Yeah.
But it had the rocks. It was bad. Like they didn't brush over it.
Oh God.
So you're going to pop up and smack you.
Did you ever get hit in the lip?
I got hit in the face. I got hit in the nose. I got hit in the throat. I think the throat hurt the worst, to be honest. I'd rather get hit in the face.
Did you ever get hit so hard with a baseball you get the red like
the
seams imprinted on your skin?
I got hit so hard with a soccer ball in the stomach. I had the seams, bro.
Yeah, that's a worst.
Yes.
But no, honestly,
There's your physical scars.
There it is. I could talk war and horror stories all day when it comes to sports, but
so many stories.
So many. I mean, I learned some of the best stuff. I met some of the best guys along the way.
Yeah, the camaraderie and everything of being on a team and talking shit to other teams, and then at the end of it, you shake hands. Now, mind you, there were several teams over the years where I didn't shake none of those motherfuckers' hands, and I was ready to throw them.
I feel that.
Those were some of the most intense fucking. You felt like you were in World War II. Like this is the end all be all. We're gonna die here on this hill.
Yeah.
But the fucking intensity of those games, man, you can't bring those back. It's just something that you'll always carry as a memory.
That's right. All right. So, in the spirit of Thanksgiving, we are in November. I can't believe it's November now.
It's getting there.
About
to be 2026.
It's wild. Things are taking off, but we just wanted everybody to have a little bit. It's kind of a get to know your hosts kind of thing. And in the spirit of Thanksgiving, some of the correlation and connection we're making is just wanted to talk about some solid memories and maybe start talking about some things that we're thankful for this year or we're thankful for in our life. So. Before we go today, with it being November already, what's something you're thankful for, man?
What's something I'm thankful for? I'm definitely thankful for my small circle of people. You and then the girl and the snore box as we referenced in the other episode. Snorebox, the chainsaw maker, and then the fur baby. Those little bits of people. That's all I really need. That's probably what I'm most thankful for and what I'll start out this episode with.
Yeah.
What about you?
Well, now that you stole my answer.
You shouldn't have asked me first.
That's fine. I will say that, so I guess a couple of little things here.
I'm thankful for food.
No, for this, for this show and, you putting, playing your part and putting all of this stuff together here in the studio. And I know in the future, I'll build out a studio and I'll get us going on that end too. But I'm thankful for that. Finally getting to do something we've always talked about doing, just you and me, which is cool.
Years in the making.
Yeah, we've talked about this for a while, but in the spirit of reminiscing on all of the sports, if you were ever a teammate of mine in any form or fashion, whether I disliked you or I liked you, I'm thankful for all you guys. Have really good memories despite any of the shit that went down, but many lessons, and I still to this day have some of the best friends in the world from those days. So appreciate all you guys.
Yeah, I think that's what some of these stories, you said it was get to know your host and everything, but it was also a little bit about not just reminiscing and going down memory lane and getting to know us, but it was also about making the connection that, sometimes the memories that we carry and everything, while they're great and, they're great reminders of who we were and how we were, but I think the better reminder and everything is that, we can still make great memories and do great things too, so
That's right.
It's not that the glory days are over. You still have more glory days ahead. It's just a matter of what those glory days are going to look like. Fortunately for me, it's not going to be on a soccer field, but hey, who knows?
No.
It might be with the girlfriend two-stepping if she keeps trying to make me fucking do this shit.
Dude, you need to just learn how to dance already.
I know how to dance.
I know you know how to dance, but you have to show her that you know how to dance.
I'm actually waiting on her to practice with me, so we're blaming her right now. I've been waiting on her to show me her little quirks with this one.
All right, well,
dance
when
thing.
we're done recording this, how about we go practice? I want to see you practice because I
we
missed
go
it last
eat
time.
First?
Okay, we can do that.
You saw the video.
I did. Well, that's not good. That's not good quality. I need to see it up close and in person. It's been a while. But no, I'll say what you guys got to see live time today was, people stopping to smell the roses. It's really important to do that. Acknowledge where you are. Talk about the past a little bit, but keep it moving. Now, we're heading into the end of this year and we got new goals, new things coming up. Time to go into 2026 recharged and ready to tackle them.
Yep, those New Year goals are coming around the corner. You got to start thinking ahead.
Yes, sir.
But like, subscribe, follow, drop some comments. Y'all are a little too shy for our liking, man. Stop being so shy. You can hate comments. I don't give a shit what it is. Say something.
Anything.
Say hi. Say fuck you. Whatever. But we'll see you in the next one.